Hello and welcome to my regular Making Events Easy session. I'm here today, it's very exciting, I'm out and about today and I'm here in Corporate AV Hire studio in Mollusk with Stephen Jackson from Corporate AV Hire, and we're talking all about recording events in a recording studio and how you as a business can take your event online and reach a bigger audience. So thank you very much, Stephen, for letting me come along today.
Yeah, thanks for coming. You're very welcome.
Thank you. It's a totally new experience for me to be in a recording studio. So
it's a new experience for us as well.
And can you just tell me a little bit about how Corporate AV Hire actually decided to start a venture like this?
So as you know, we normally do live events, and once the pandemic hit in March, they all got shut down, so we had to adapt. And our clients still need to reach their customers, and they still need to have their meetings. So we built a studio to try and facilitate that.
Yes.
So for the first couple of months, it was a bit quiet because everyone was hedging their bets, trying to guess when events would come back in, when they would be able to open up again, and they didn't want to invest too much. But now it seems like we're getting stuck in this cycle of lockdowns. We're getting more clients who are actually looking to bring their events online, and they're looking to keep that contact with their customers whatever way they can, and this seems to be the best way for them to achieve that.
Yeah, because I have a lot of clients who were organising face-to-face events, and be that sort of training, classes at night time, or maybe big conferences in Belfast. And as you say, in March time they thought, okay, I have this event in July, maybe it can still happen.
Yeah.
And so they kind of waited, and then it got to July and they were like, no, this isn't going to happen. And then they took it online, and people like Ashley Watson, obviously, who did her Social Savvy conference with yourselves as well, that she was able to stream then that to a live audience and maintained her audience, which was a lifesaver for...
Yeah, for people like that, they need to keep themselves in the public eye.
Yeah.
And if they can't do it during the events, they have to adapt. So we're there trying to facilitate that.
Yes.
Trying to facilitate that communication for them.
Yes. And obviously before, Corporate AV Hire, we're doing the sound for big events in Belfast, and I've been to plenty of events that yourself and Neil Dizelle and his team have set up.
Yes.
And that market has sort of disappeared now for the time being. So it's about you adapted, your company adapted as well, really?
Yeah, so Neil's obviously still in there making some events happen, and he's moved a lot of them online. We've done a couple for him, and he's doing them outside. So we also, we don't just work in the studio, we can also stream from external locations. So we had one, it was a mental health conference in a little theatre in Belfast. So we brought along a couple of cameras and microphones and just let them, they had a small audience there with a couple of politicians, and we're still delivering as much as we can.
And yes. And for the setup for in here, obviously we're here today. We've got my logo, which is fantastic. All I had to do was send you the JPEG of that, and you worked your magic and put that all up. But I think for a big corporate brand, if you have a space like this, where you can have your branding, where people, obviously you can space people out, according to all the COVID regulations as well, that you're maintaining that safety as well. And what type of events so far have you helped people create online like this?
So yesterday we had an AGM, and that involved several presentations from individual speakers, but also a panel.
Excellent.
So the panel discussion, because we have the space, as you say, we were able to space the seats out. If necessary, we do have screens. If you need to get more people in, we can put up screens and get people closer. But yesterday was a panel of 4. They were nicely spread out, and as you see, we have the set for a backdrop, so we can put you in a location, keep your branding in the viewer's eye.
Yes, yes.
So we've also done award shows and presentation ceremonies, and the good thing about that is our clients are enjoying coming, and they're essentially playing in the movie studio.
Yes.
They're getting to be film stars for the day.
Yes, yeah.
And even though you can't have the actual events and get up on stage, it does keep that special. It keeps that
dynamic.
Yeah, it keeps the dynamic there.
Yes,
People are enjoying coming in. They're still feeling special. they're still feeling like they're being presented something. They're on TV.
Yes, yeah. Because I feel that like I've never been on a stage really before with a big light, and it's like, oh, this is a whole new world.
It can be a bit intimidating.
It is very different. It's very different. But I was actually at an AGM last night, and there was, I think the rule sort of is for AGMs, you're allowed to have 15 people in a room. We were in quite a small room, and they couldn't really fit any more people in. So what they had to do was we had just a sort of a U-shaped table, and then some people zoomed in, but it missed that whole dynamic of having a keynote speaker, because last year there was a keynote speaker and people asked questions and all that engagement. And I think when you have to be very careful how you're creating events now, that there is that engagement with the audience as well, that's...
Yeah, especially with the likes of an AGM, it's all figures, and it can be quite dry if you're watching. And to keep that engagement, some of our clients have actually brought in presenters, like the likes of Pamela Ballantyne. And when you have someone like that, someone who's well spoken, they can make the information come across. They can make it more interesting, keep people engaged, and they can take. You don't need to be a great public speaker to run a company.
Yes.
So if they're in there and they're chatting to the people, they can draw out the information in an interesting way. And it comes across quite well.
Yes.
And also, presenters such as Pamela would be presenting award shows and stuff. That would be their bread and butter.
Exactly.
And it helps keep them in business as well.
Yes, exactly. And for the awards ceremony, did you have the winners of the awards coming in as well, or was it just Pamela sort of saying this is who the award is going to?
The ones we have done, it was only the main winners were in the studio.
Yes, yeah.
Most of the time, the names are just read out, and there's a bit of pomp and ceremony.
Yes, yes.
It depends. If a company wanted to do that and have the winners come in, they could do that.
They could do that.
Yeah, but as you say, even with us, we're restricted to the amount of people we can have in here.
Yes, no, exactly.
I think it might be 15 at the minute.
Yes,
we'll see next week.
Exactly. And I think for award ceremonies and things like that as well, that it's, there is still an element as well that because we're all inside so much, that you actually want to dress up and go outside, that you want to have a bit of a party kind of atmosphere, don't you?
You'll see coming up it was an HR, was it an HR institute? I can't remember.
CIPD.
Yeah, CIPD, and then their other branch of them, the ladies all came in their cocktail dresses, makeup all done up. They were actually sitting outside in our waiting area in the green room with their champagne.
Oh, very good, very good. Because I was included in a campaign this year called Small Biz Saturday, and they picked 100 businesses from around the UK, and then actually normally a few weeks ago they invite everybody to go to 10 Downing Street or the House of Lords, and it's a trip, you meet all in London and discuss things together. And this year obviously they couldn't have that, and then we had what they called the blue tie event, that they sent all 100 of us a blue t-shirt and a little set of cocktails in the post, and then we had a Zoom event, and we were all dancing and everything on the Zoom event, but we had our t-shirts and we had our cocktails, so it kind of felt, there was a wee bit of fun still.
Yeah. Well, here's our DMS awards.
Very good.
They're all coming in. They brought in a balloon modeler to dress the stage a bit as well.
Yes.
And this backdrop here, all that is our stretchy fabric, and we just project different lighting onto it, and it gives you quite a good.
It does.
Yeah, quite a good background, and it's not too expensive. You don't need to buy a set, even though we do have this set here that we're using. It's customizable. We can actually cut your graphics on vinyl and print them on, and keep your image.
Yes,
and then if you want to bring in any extra props, you can fill the place up.
Because I think that's a very important thing to mention, that actually for people to come and record in a studio like this, all they need to bring is themselves and the images of their company that they send to you, and then you have the whole setup. So I know I have seen people trying to record things in their own office, or even do Pilates videos and stuff at the very start of lockdown. They were trying to record themselves and do the Pilates and have it on Facebook Live. You're just like, what's going on? And I think that you can't underestimate the power of having a professionally set up. You've got the camera, you've got the sound.
Yes.
You can edit the videos afterwards. You can stream it. You've got the whole package here, really, haven't you?
Yeah, we've got the full package. Yeah. We've got multiple camera angles. At the minute we're using 3 cameras. We can ramp that up to 8. Whatever whatever you want.
Yes.
But there's generally no need for that unless you're doing some TV production.
Because I saw that on Graham Norton the other day, that when they had people spaced out and on Zoom, that they actually had very smart camera angles, that they were getting Graham, but also the 3 people in the room and the Zoom, whoever was on the Zoom that night as well, or whatever they have. But yeah, there's creative ways of doing it. We actually did something similar with the outsourced one. So we had someone calling in, don't know where he was from, but he was coming up on the screen, so the presenter could actually chat with him in real time. Yes.
So we can facilitate all of that, and it actually helps with international events, so you're not having to fly people in.
Oh yes, totally.
Which I think now they have to do. Some people have to do a 2-week quarantine.
Yes. Because I think in a way that was the one good thing about lockdown, that it stopped maybe unnecessary travel in a way.
Yes.
Like it's nice to go to a conference somewhere else. Like I was in Stockholm at the start of March for a business event. Did I really need to go? I don't know. It was lovely.
Yeah, it's good to go and meet people and see new places. But as you say, if you're running a business, it's not just one day out of your schedule.
No.
It can be up to a week just to go to one conference.
Exactly.
So it does. It's a double-edged sword. It's good. It's got its good and bad points.
Yes, it does. It does. Yeah.
It's always nice to meet people in real life.
It is. This is nice. So we're doing.
Yeah, you can have a cup of tea, go for lunch together.
Exactly. So we're having a bit of a hybrid. We're having a hybrid today.
That's it. It looks like coming to the new year, we're going to be seeing a lot more hybrid events.
Yes.
As people want to get, they want to have that audience.
They do.
But with whatever restrictions, you never know what's actually going to happen.
Yes.
So. With whatever restrictions come in, they'll fill the venue as much as possible, but they're still going to have to stream to reach that audience.
Yes, yeah. And I think, even that event that I was at last night, there is something so special about having people in a room, and especially for boards and AGMs, that actually a lot of the really important conversations go on with people when they're making their cup of tea. Exactly. And they're getting ready, and in between in the breaks, it's not actually the meeting, it's the interaction between is very, very important as well.
Exactly, and that's the bit that's hard to replicate.
It is,
yeah.
It is.
We do have, there are chat functions, we can have it so people can type in, people can call in.
Yeah.
And seems to be the best way to approximate that personal, approximate the eye contact you get. You can actually see, you need to see someone's emotion when you're talking to them.
You do, you so do. Well, thank you so much for your time today and letting me use the studio. Obviously, we're here in Mollusk, which is super handy.
Yeah, just
anybody in Northern Ireland.
10 minutes outside of Belfast.
Yeah, really handy. And is there anything else that you'd like to say about the business so far?
We're hoping we'll be able to keep the studio up and running until things are back to normal. And if anyone has any events that they would like to stream, or any, as you say, if you're doing your courses, I think you mentioned a dog training client.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, people like that, if they have anything that they want as a video course or class, we can facilitate that. You can come in, use the studio. You have professional lighting, professional video operators and camera operators giving you top-class material.
Yeah, because I've seen, I saw a lot of people struggling a bit during lockdown who were delivering an activity like that, like baking, for example. I saw a lot of people trying to do baking videos, and it's actually, because I tried to do a baking video myself one day, and it is a nightmare to try to be, chopping stuff, but to be looking at the camera and to have the camera somewhere that I actually can see what you're doing as well. Like, that's quite difficult.
Even some of our live events we would do. There's a cookery one we do in the Titanic every year in the Titanic Exhibition Centre. Yeah. And we actually need 2 guys on the camera there to get the shots of the cooking. It's not just it's not as simple as sticking up a camera and going for it.
It really isn't. It really isn't. Well, thank you so much. And if anybody wants to come and check out Corporate AV Hire's recording studio here, you can contact the guys via their website, and I'll put the link in under the video as well. And thank you again, Stephen, so much for your time today.
Thank you.
Thank you.